Hello there. For me, it's been a while since I've played any games. I played a bunch, I pre-uploaded a bunch of videos, and then I've been busy doing other stuff. So I haven't played anything in a month, almost 3 weeks, something like that. It's been a while. But that time is over now. I have run out of preloaded videos, and I must play more games. So, here we are. But the timing worked out alright. I have important things to say, and there will be a... Sorry, the cat's trying to eat my foot. There will be a more proper announcement, disclaimer, news update, explanation video. But I'm at least going to give you the rundown on this video because that one's not going to happen until tomorrow. And despite what my face says, I'm extremely excited. Oh, man. Itchy nose. I blame the cat. So, I'm going to be self-publishing, and I believe that's already been mentioned. I had originally intended to finish writing one of the projects I've had on the back burner for a long time, called The Feasting, which I don't have a better... Come on, over the edge. Thank you. That sounded big. I don't have a better title for it yet, but I want to get one because that one just doesn't sound / feel right. It is set in the same universe as my regular sci-fi writing. Hey, buddy. Set in the same universe as my regular sci-fi writing, but they're new characters, and it is an unrelated story. It is its own thing, and it is much more horror than... Well, I mean, it's still science fiction. But, it's a separate story. It's not related to our favorite hero, Max. So originally I'd intended on finishing writing that and then publishing it first. Just because the alien dissolved into gray goo. Interesting. Just because it would be my first self-published book, and I didn't want to make a mistake, do something wrong, to have enemies. Another one. I didn't want to have the possibility of messing up something. That's not the button I wanted. Mass Effect and its weird buttons. Cat's trying to eat my foot again. Got the little guy dealt with. Get as many bad guys out of the fight as possible. I need him over here. Yeah, he can get my turret. Anyway.
Joel's injured.
Crap, Joel's injured. He just got smashed with a giant alien fist. Alright. Now that I'm out of ammo. So originally I'd intended on publishing this yet incomplete sci-fi book. It's been on the back burner for a while. I'm making progress again, which is nice. So that's one of the things I've been doing instead of playing games for entertainment, is I've been writing for your future entertainment. Because the interesting thing about that is it's also being written by hand. And then I'm copy typing it, which I feel is not bad, because the nope, nothing exciting up here. You gotta look for goodies. The creative process in your brain for writing a book by hand is very different than just sitting here and chimping on my keyboard. And I'm not going to say that it's better, but it's definitely different, and I want to see how that goes. But more importantly, being handwritten, it has to be copy typed. And so it's like an extra layer. Like I get a free draft, so to speak, because I can change and improve and reword things, leave things out, whatnot, as I'm going from the handwritten version to the typed version. So, you know, it's an extra iterative step. It just means another forced draft of the book. So maybe it'll be better. Hopefully it'll be better. Chasm of Builders. I read that as Boilers first. So that was the original plan, but I've been researching on marketing, advertising, editing, all kinds of stuff that goes with self-publishing but isn't the writing part of it. And I feel like there's been a momentum building, and I have a plan, so I'm going to do that plan sooner rather than later. I finally got feedback from the last of my beta readers, and because of this amount of delay, will not be beta readers in the future, but I got feedback. So between yesterday and the day before, I got, because they had a physical paper copy, one of the skinny little black half-inch 3-ring binders on the shelf behind me. And they went through that paper copy in a line-by-line fashion with a pen, going, add a comma here, Change this was to a were. Turn this comma into a period and capitalize this to make a new sentence. And that kind of stuff. So, the majority, I think there was only like 1 or 2 of those suggestions in the whole book that I didn't use. So, between yesterday and the day before, I went through the whole manuscript and implemented those kinds of updates. Is that a thing? No, it's not a thing.
Lame.
Very lame. I like things. Because things are often loot. And I like loot.
Who doesn't?
That's why we killed Lae'zel right in the beginning of Baldur's Gate, so we could loot her armor.
The poor little mean baby.
Yes, I'm playing Baldur's Gate for fun, not here on the YouTube. And my original save, or if there's something wrong with it, or if my mods caused a problem or something, but I couldn't do stuff for Gale or Karlak, so I just started a new playthrough, because I wasn't that far into the first one. So I'm a dwarf now. Anyway. Nothing like a loot to get you off topic. I feel like that always happens.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even a bard. Well, can't loot that ammo. So it is loot, it's just not loot I can use. Which is the worst kind of loot, because it could have been something else. It could have been better. It could have been money. Anyway. Because of this growing feeling of momentum and knowledge as I'm working on marketing and advertising and what to do, how to do with my books. And I got all this feedback, and I put in some edits, and I have talked to a couple people online that are professional editors. So there will be yet another draft. But when this video goes public on YouTube, the first weekend of February, why is it so hard to jump on the triangle thing? Thank you. Bro. Alright, I'm just... Screw it. Alright, I don't want to jump down and not have a way back up. You feel me? Okay, here we go. Anyway. When this video goes live on YouTube, I should have already made the changes to both my websites, both the author website, chaserandolph.com, that still feels weird to say, and the book's website, thedescendantsaga.com, with the announcements that I will be publishing the second edition of the first book, now titled Altar of Scales. And that will be published in September this year. At least that's my plan. So there's that. Publishing a book. Come on, shields. Anyone else? Shoot the thing. Thank you. Ready for shotguns.
Nice work.
Joel, I will shut you because you're running around in my peripheral. Look, loot. So that's all stuff that's happening. Between the beginning of September and the release of this video, not only will I be working with professional editors to have a finely tuned line edit version done and ready for release to the public, overhauling the websites, making these announcement videos. I'll be running ad campaigns on the various social media platforms. I've got a friend, mutual acquaintance, that I've been planning things with. I'll be using an AI to help me with targeting ads. And I guess the biggest announcement with my overhauled websites, the important part of this whole spiel rant message, besides I'm getting all this loot, is
Arcnatanus debris tagged for salvage.
I'm launching a newsletter, which, because my updates are coming in the beginning of February, it'll give me some time to write the newsletter. And so I will probably release at the end of the month, every month, so end of February, end of April, end of June, end of July, end of August, end of September. Yes, I know I skipped a month. That way, you know, the newsletter at the end of August will be like the weekend before the book release at the beginning of September, and can be, you know, your last chance, flash sale, blah, 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 blah. Kickstarter kind of thing. So I'll be doing a Kickstarter. I'm planning on doing a book trailer. And all that cool stuff. It's like a pile of bricks, not a container. Anyway. So there's lots of things coming. I'm going to be very busy. In summary. And keep an eye out. Because I know, you know, this video is going to come out beginning of February.
For a moment, I detected a weak energy pulse. It's gone now. Perhaps we could return later.
So, stay tuned. Not just here for more YouTube videos, because I'm hilarious and entertaining and making fun of all of this bad science fiction in Andromeda. Because their games are bad and they should feel bad. And there's no more loot here. But also, I'm releasing a book this year. And the plan, shotgun. The plan is to release another book. I'm going to take a step back and go back to part of why I'm self-publishing. It would be nice, you know, if traditionally published, to have a marketing team running advertisements and setting things up with places like Barnes & Noble to do things for me. But unless you're Stephen King or J.K. Rowling, they're not going to do that anymore. More and more advertising, marketing, networking stuff is left to be done by the author, even by medium-sized presses. publishers. So let's say, even hypothetically, I get an agent today and a publishing contract tomorrow. They're not going to help as much as they could or as much as they should with marketing. So if I've got to do some of it, I might as well do all of it, because the person I know I can rely on is myself. The same for editing. I've had not great interactions with so-called professional editors. They often say, oh yeah, you know, I'm an editor, I do this, blah, 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 and then ghost you, or don't do good work, or there was one that eventually admitted, like, yeah, I've got too much work, I don't have time for this. I'm like, alright, fine, that's fair, I guess. Oh, I missed some debris down there. That was the whole reason I was down there. Anyway. So again, doing things myself. And the other big thing is because they have their process where they provide you cover art and often a title and editors.
Arcnatanis debris, tagged for salvage.
Etc. It's not fast. I signed my publishing contract in April of 2019, and the book didn't get printed until September of 2020. And I'm planning on this being a moderately lengthy 12 to 15 book series. Right, I've got 6 books written and I have outlines for more. It's going to be at least 10 books. Probably 12. If I do good, maybe 15. I have a whole other trilogy that I'm kind of like, I could write that. Will I write that? We'll see. The market will determine. My success will decide. Oh, there's another one down there. Anyways, point is, with that many books and that long of a delay between releases, you know, if it's a year between every book, that's 10 to 15 years. And the cover art that I am using, it's, you know, painted by my grandfather. Another reason why I'm self-publishing, so I can use my grandfather's glorious art and not have to have whatever computer-generated
Lame sauce.
Yeah, cold, heartless, lame sauce the publisher provides in order to use what I think is actual art and not something that could have been done by an AI. That's a hill I'm willing to die on, so I'm self-publishing for that reason. But let's say, hypothetically, I was using my grandfather's art while being traditionally published. Fix your shields while I'm changing guns. That kind of long delay, being a year and a half between releases, I don't know if my grandfather would be alive, or at least healthy enough to be painting of this same quality. I mean, the way I've termed it before, he is the closest equivalent of a living Frank Frazetta, who is one of my favorite artists, like, independently, without having been influenced by my grandfather. I discovered the existence and quality of Frank Frazetta all on my own.
Arc Natalis debris. Tagged for salvage.
So, 10, 12, 15 years from now, I mean, the guy's 71-ish? 72? Yeah, he's 71, because Grandma's 73. So, 10 years, he's going to be 81. In 15 years, he'll be 86. Like, even if he is alive by then, knowing his grumpy old behind, he probably will be. But will his eyes be as good? Will his hands be as steady? Will his painting be of the same caliber? So, I'm not willing to deal with that kind of delay from a traditional publisher. And because I've got 6 of these books written, counting, the first one that I'm going to release in September, I plan on releasing a book every 4 to 6 months for as long as I've got content. And can find a decent editor to work with, I guess, is what this is really going to hinge on. But
Arc Natalis debris. Tagged for salvage.
editor availability and affordability notwithstanding, let's say I do a book every 4 months. I've got 6 books. That's 3 books a year. So it gives me 2 years to put out 6 books. And in that time, hopefully I can write 2 more. I kind of average a book a year. So if I can finish The Feasting and write the next book in the series, book 7, and I've also written a fantasy book, and I don't know if I'm going to seek traditional publishing with that, or self-publish it as well. If I publish The Feasting and book 7 and the fantasy book, you know, that's 3 books, a book every 4 months. That's a third year. Which means I'm going to have another book written, which will be book 8. And we'll see how things go. If I still have the gumption to continue going, or if I don't have to worry about burnout, per se, because it's all already written. The hard part will be editing, paying for editing. But I'm hoping, releasing that many books in that time span, it will build enough momentum, enough following, that I can actually make some decent money and not have to try and rely on a Kickstarter
debris. Tagged for salvage.
to pay for professional editors and the other costs of publishing. Running websites, running ads, the listings on Amazon and such.
Arc Natalis debris, tagged for salvage.
So yeah, I'm just gonna run around and find all the salvage, since that's what I'm at. And running around covering so much of the map, we'll find the other stuff along the way. So, now that I've got my half-hour episode, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. We're publishing books. We're going to publish a lot of books. We're going to publish a lot of books quickly. We're going to publish a book before the end of the year.
Arc
Because
Natalis debris, tagged for salvage.
I don't want to wait. I feel like this is kind of a... I don't have a reason for why I feel this way, but I feel that this is going to be a make or break kind of thing. Like, either I'm going to do it now and get started, get building momentum, or it'll never get done. Because it was April of 2022 when the publisher decided that they were going to shut their doors and return to me my print rights.
Arc Natalis debris, tagged for salvage.
That was a while ago. And I've had multiple drafts, big changes in titles, and all of that that's occurred since then. But now, we're in February, coming up on April of 2024. That's 2 years. That's too long. I don't want it to become a could have been, should have been kind of thing. So I'm going to do it sooner rather than later, so that it will be.
Readings indicate all Turian wreckage on Haval has been found.
Good. Tell our salvage teams to get busy removing them.
So, I'm done chasing salvage. Sounds like an excuse to save the game and end the episode. But there is my unscripted, quick and dirty announcement. This video will probably come out on a Saturday, as the weekend rolls out. So that means there will probably be another video on Sunday, which I will make my bigger, better, more refined, professional, formal, that's the word I'm looking for, my formal announcement for all that it is that I'm doing with this book publishing stuff. And I'll do some other, editing, advertising, magic, computer stuff to make the video nicer too. But if you're an actual fan and you're the one person that watches all these videos, you get a little sneak peek. Because starting with the next one, everything's going full blast. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. So I have a book to sell. So, I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in that one. Because that's where the rodeo starts. Party hardy.